How do I shoot photographs? Now I get asked this all the time. Probably not the most conventional way, as I shoot on the bike. 28mm prime lens goes down to around, I think it's 1.8, something like that. I'm not the most technical guy. I know what I'm doing. I can explain to people in front of me how to do it, which is what we're going to do today partially. I'm not going to show you all my secrets, but yeah, I've got a nice selection of images from Girona, my last trip there with Joe Laverick, Andy Leidick and Maggie Cole Lister. If I've got that wrong, I'm sorry, Mags. But yeah, let's delve into it. Here are the shots. So I do shoot raw. As you can see, some of the images are not perfectly exposed. You do technically get this with raw, hence why we can bring them through the camera raw. Let's go to this first image. For me, I like it to be pretty warm. I like the shadows to be not too dense. I'll add a little bit of clarity, not too much. The whites have to be pretty crispy. Let's have a look. And I don't want to force too much white into the image, or over highlight an image, okay? The first shot we've got is Andy, Joe and Mags riding up L's, I believe it is. It's quite a nice time. I prefer to know my times for shooting, so when I say we're going to go shoot, I'll probably look for either early morning. You don't want the midday blown out tones, too much blue sky, too much sun. It doesn't work unless you're really aiming for that look. In that case, do what you will. Or I will shoot around sunset, so where it's coming into like a dusky pink hue in the sky is probably one of my favourite times. So on this image you can almost see that. It's a tiny bit early for me because the whites are a little bit higher. But yeah, this was shot on the bike during a climb. I cannot remember the full settings. Let's have a look. So we've got 5.6 on your f-stop, 640 to the second, at ISO 100, nice and smooth. You really don't want to be pushing grainy looks at this time unless it gets too late and you need that to push for lighting. And again, 28mm prime, the perfect lens for shooting and feeling as if you are part of the image. Alright, so the second image we have, again, same three riders, same climb, black and white. I adore black and white. I started shooting film a long time ago, probably 12, 13 years old. For this image, I mean, composition, not the best. The thing for it is the feeling for me. When you're shooting and you are a part of this, and you are a cyclist and you are alongside these riders you're working with, it's nice to give the viewer an aesthetic of you was there and you could feel that climb, you could smell the air, you know, all that type of jazz, the art stuff. But yeah, for me this image, again, not too over the top. I blew the whites out slightly. It gave a really nice kind of lens flare, which, you know, is pretty much a go-to to a lot of photographers these days. But I'm happy with the image. You know, rim lighting on everyone looks nice. You can see the bikes, you can see the products. You know, that kind of thing. It could have been a bit more product orientated, but these are the types of images that can fill, almost like a filler content in magazines if you wish. Okay, same climb. I rode ahead to get this shot. The lighting was from the back of the corner, which was giving me this kind of double effect of we have the shadows and then we have the cyclists in the forefront. Some tasty little leading lines. Colour's not too bad, lighting's not too bad. Again, when you're shooting with a 28mm prime, in these lower types of lights, you are going to blow the whites out up behind the trees in the background. You can't focus on everything, you can't equal everything out without, you know, sacrificing other things in the image I'd have liked to kept. But me, all in all, good image. I wouldn't bang it on the front of a magazine, I wouldn't put it in a main advert again. For me this would probably be, I don't know, I mean it's good for Instagram, that type of jazz. So this shot we have got Andy Leidick climbing. You know, it's got all the bases you're going to need. Beautiful bike, great kit, the sun's right, slight motion blur. So obviously I've brought my shutter speed down. I was stood, oh no, we were still riding here. So within around a few minutes of this shot, we got off the bike and did some descending photos. This was still on the bike, shot from the hip. Obviously you can watch where you are, the glory of a 28mm prime is that it almost replicates the eye, it replicates what you see. So for me, probably, I can't think about on the shutter speed, maybe 200th of a second, a little bit less. You want to keep your f-stop a little bit higher so you can keep things in focus, especially when they're moving at pace. I don't know how fast we was moving, but this was still moving. Yeah, lighting's good. I'd definitely use it for an advert. Not too sure what part of the product I'd use that for, but it's got the potential to be used at the higher level of content. Let's get on to the next one. So, next up we've got Joe Laverick Descendant. The thing with the 28mm is, it is a prime. Again, it is wide enough to look like the eye. It lacks in shots like this, sadly. Like, as you can see, I've recently bought the 70-200 Canon. That will provide that depth. It will give me a lot more strength to an image, a lot more... It's robust. It gives an image something that being this close and almost flat can't give. Not that it's a bad image, don't get me wrong. This could be used in any sense of content, advertising, marketing, your basis of social media, all that jazz is great. Fine, it looks nice, it looks pretty. But for me, and probably in the professional market, this wouldn't stand up to form. If it does, drop a comment, let us know, I'll come shoot you some work with a 28mm. But yeah, personal reasoning, just a little too flat for me. Great emotion in the image, absolutely. These was stood still shots for me. I had the riders coming past me. Okay, again, this is Joe. We was descending together. I was next to Joe. I wouldn't advise doing this, riding one-handed. Els is quite, from what I heard, not the safest of descents with drivers and such. But when the content needs shooting, I'm probably going to ride and I'm probably going to still shoot. Again, we didn't have a driver. This was shot from the hip next to me. I probably wasn't looking when I shot this. Again, you can start to see the grain in the image, so I've pumped the ISO up. I probably brought the aperture slightly down and the shutter speed has definitely come down, so you're probably about 1/80th of a second, maybe a little bit less. Colours are great, that's grading after RAW. Everything about this image to me is, a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Bit confident, I know. Hear me out. Your levels are great, colours are great, everything draws you straight to the rider, it shows emotion, you can tell we're descending. Yeah, all in, I'd use this for any type of content, any type of marketing, advertisement, or just in generalisation, I'd probably put it on a wall somewhere. Yeah, it's a good one. So, this type of image, if you read my Substack, there was a lot of, I did some writing on basically how trending photography and the way companies are using this, it's all looking a little similar. A little to me like you can shoot photographs but you choose to be a bit more hipster and a bit more edgy with your images. Don't get me wrong, this was shot straight from my hand, right next to the head. I want to try and get a couple of bangers, see if I can get a nice focus on the sunglasses maybe, or the Northwave jersey he's wearing. Funnily enough, it come out cool, which that's the epitome of these types of shot. They look cool. It's in depth, it's gritty, you feel connected. For me, it's not the one, but yeah, it's another shot that can feel nicely and you can use through social media. This is again Andy. This is probably 30 seconds, maybe a minute after the last shot. We caught the sunset just right. I'm not sure how I got this lucky with having the sun behind the subject and also having such a nice light or smooth flat light on my subject without using flash. The motion was beautiful, I've got to admit. Colours are lovely, again that was grading. Again, I'd probably just use this shot as some sort of filler content. It's not, to me, through the roof marketing or advertisement material. Although, the bike looks beautiful, You can clearly see the North Wave and the Capo. So yeah, I mean, some people may see it differently, but for me personally, a nice social media shot, night out with the boys, sunset ride, that type of thing. Well, this image was basically me stopping the guys in the corner once I'd seen this view in the background. Stop, 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 we need to get this shot. The lights drop in, I really had to ramp up the ISO. You can start to see the grain coming out through the image. The lighting though is, I was pretty impressed by being able to get it quite flat. I'm not blowing the whites out too much, apart from in the centre there a little bit, but that's expected. Joe's already prepared and he's up there waiting. Andy's on his way. Mags is probably just behind the shot, which this will follow on nicely to the next shot. I'd probably use this image in the next, maybe in the next couple I'm going to show you. I'd probably use in a small collage or small kind of gallery looking image. Nothing too major, maybe just memories kind of thing, but we'll see. I'll show you the next shot and then explain from there. So like I said, I would use these as a set. You can now see in the image that the ISO has been ramped extraordinarily high. I love to see grain. I love to see emotion in an image. Like I say, I come from film photography, so for me choosing the correct ISO or film speed, people may call it, was everything, depending on what I was shooting, lighting, motion, how gritty I wanted to show something, or how smooth maybe you'd want to shoot, the portraiture for models or that type of thing. Here we can see Joe is very concentrated. He's getting a lot lower. This corner is pretty famous in the cycling photography world, or just generally in the cycling world. Bike looks great, positioning's great. He's got a nice little watch on. I think he's trying to do a little bit of the poggy here. So to wrap it up, I'd probably say be involved. Be as deep as possible as you can be in the cycling realm. Be right in there in the image. Don't be afraid to sit back. Be as close as you can. Don't think about how rough the image might look. Shoot as many as you can. We're shooting digital these days, for God's sake. Don't be afraid to just fire. Just as much as you can. I think for me, I'm very lucky because I have riders who look exceptionally good when they ride. But practice with your friends. Go out. This is all I ever did. Joe was my first subject. He said, "Oh, can you shoot some photos of this?" I'm like, "Yeah, alright, let's go." And from there, it kind of just built and built and built. The creativity side of things for me came from skateboarding. I was very aware of how to show a lifestyle. A lot of people now see social media as a lifestyle, and it is not at all. The culture that comes from behind, day in, day out, suffering like cycling or skateboarding, any endurance type of sport. I would definitely just get out there with your friends with a camera. Be safe, of course. Like I say, I've been doing this a while. I'm very able at riding a bike. I'm very able at taking photographs. I don't want to promote any sort of unsafe riding and such. Just make sure you're in a safe area. You know what's going on. Everyone around you is kind of aware and helping. That's what happens with these guys with me. They always keep me aware. Even though as much as Joe panics, I kind of still get on with the job. I'm going to wrap it up now. It's been fun. I haven't delved too deep. I think that you should all go out there and figure this out for yourselves really. But if you do have any serious technical questions and such, you are welcome to message me, like, subscribe, check out the Instagram. That'll always have the links for Substack and all the other bits and bobs. I'm now going to go test out this new lens a little bit more because it is magnificent. I don't know. Go enjoy your day, alright? Thanks guys.